want now to turn to a Canadian who was at the Fort Lauderdale airport when the shooting happened. Russel Crooks witnessed what happened firsthand. He joins us now on the phone. Russel, thank you for joining us. I can imagine this is a very difficult time. If you wouldn't mind, walk us through what happened today.
Well, I was sitting with my partner, Bruce, and I initially thought it was a firecracker going off at the end of our seat. We jumped up. I realized it was either a bomb or gunshots, and we ran about 5 feet away to a desk, a little kiosk, information booth, and sort of dove under there. I guess the shooter had been just right in front of us. Must have moved off about 10 or 15 feet. I did look up. I did see him actually shoot, extend a handgun and shoot several people. We just sort of moved more under the desk. He was, at that point, in line with us. After that, I just didn't look. I thought for sure he would turn left and he would come towards us. He apparently continued shooting in that area, and then I heard people say that he ran outside and then was outside. People were saying he was outside, but then a few moments later, he was back in the terminal to the left of us. He was initially on the right side of us, came in a door to the left, and the police had him down on the ground. I don't know whether he was shot or not, but he was about 15 feet away from us on the ground. The same person, it looked to be the same person. I just saw the green shirt, green and black shirt.
Russell, let me jump in, and I do appreciate you speaking to us. I also appreciate how difficult this must be at this moment in time. But for some clarity, where were you inside the airport when you first heard that fire shot?
We were on the arrivals level near the baggage pickup, and we were in Terminal 2, I believe.
Yeah, Terminal 2 is what we're hearing as well.
And other Delta. So we were on the arrivals level.
So you were at the arrivals level waiting for your baggage when you heard that first shot?
No, actually, we had come in from a cruise this morning, and our flight is later today, and so we checked our bags into the security area and had just walked downstairs looking to get coffee, and we decided to sit on the arrivals level because it was a little quieter, and we were just checking our messages and doing phone messages and everything in a quieter area. So that's why we weren't on the departures level, but rather on the arrivals.
I want to ask about the shooter. Did you see him well enough to, or I don't even know if it was a him, did you see the shooter well enough to have a description of any kind?
I couldn't say that I could give a good description, but I did see him well enough. Like, I saw him shooting, holding the gun, the handgun in front of him. And I couldn't give you a description. I call a green shirt, darker pants. He was just standing there, and that's all I could say.
And you say a handgun. Did he have more than one firearm with him?
I couldn't say. I only saw one. That he had his hand extended out, his arm extended out, and was aiming. And the person that he was aiming at was already on the ground. And I did see him fire and shoot that person. I don't know whether it's a male or female.
Russell, would you say?
I saw him.
Would you say that the shots that were fired, from what you could see, was he targeting specific people, or were they just random shots being fired?
It's really hard to say. There was, when it started, it was very quick, rapid action, and then, as I said, we moved off to near the desk area, and then they seemed to be more spaced out. The timing, although there just seemed to be so many of them that it was amazing. But he was shooting towards people that were picking up their bags, coming in on a flight.
And I also wonder, in terms of, you say he shot several people, do you have a number in mind that you can recall?
It's hard to say. I probably saw at least 8 people, on the floor, which I could see blood around them. So, and then there was a woman about, I'd say, 10 feet from me, who seemed to have a shoulder wound, and then she fainted. She was being attended by some people.
Russell, it is currently 2:10 p.m. Eastern Time, and I appreciate you trying to catch your breath and your voice there, but at what time did this all unfold?
I'm trying to think. 1:30, perhaps, did it start? I don't know. It may have been earlier than that. Maybe around, maybe a little after 1. I really wasn't paying attention too much to the time because I had been, just doing some messages to people and things like that. And, we had a lot of time to kill at the airport, so I really didn't take stock of the time.
Now, you and your partner, you say you ran behind one of those desks at the airport. What about the others around you? How were they reacting to the shots being fired?
There was a lot of screaming, a lot of people yelling, "Get down, get down." People were, running away from where he was at that point, running towards us and the other way. And people, there were probably 6 of us that were behind this small desk.
And you say...
I think it may have been around 1 o'clock, actually.
Just around 1 o'clock.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, because the last time I sent a message, I was in the middle of making a message. Around 1 o'clock.
So just around 1 o'clock. And Russell, you say you saw the gunman, after firing some shots, run out of the airport, then run back in before that suspect was tackled.
No, I didn't see him run from...
You just heard people saying that.
He was standing there shooting somebody.
Okay.
And I looked away because, quite honestly, I thought he was going to turn left towards us, and he would have seen 6 people behind this tiny, tiny desk. We were just right there.
Of course.
And so the next thing, I just put my head down, and the next thing I heard was that he's outside. People were yelling back and forth, kind of giving his whereabouts, but there were still a lot of people screaming and a lot of people still saying, "Get down, get down." And the people that I was closest with kept saying, "Put your head down, everyone keep their head down."
Walk us through then what happened afterwards. When did you start hearing police arrive? At what point did airport officials start giving out instructions as to what to do?
Well, he was lying on the ground for quite some time. There seemed to be a bit of a delay, between when anybody came. I mean, there seemed to be this one police officer had him down. And then, there seemed to be quite some time. People were sort of starting to get up and move back to where they had left their bags. Like we moved 10 feet over to where we have our carry-on. And, we just sat down, but then police started arriving and told everybody, get down, stay down. And so I think at that point they were beginning to arrive and sweep through the airport to see if there was another person involved. And I actually don't even know whether or not there was one shooter or 2 shooters or anything really. I don't have any details.
Well, we have to say at this moment in time, the report seems to suggest it is only one shooter. That said, I also want to know what instructions you were given. At what point were you told to leave that area behind the desk? Walk us through that part of it.
Probably a half hour later, after shooting stopped, they moved us to the secure area. People were pretty much staying where they were. There was the injured who were on the floor. It seemed to take a while before the ambulance arrived. I think a fire truck. I saw fire services. We got fire services come in first, and one police officer said that there were at least 3 head injuries, and so they were targeting those persons first, and then more people came on. More emergency personnel came forward.
Now, let me jump in there just very quickly, Russell, because I want to share with you, as well as people who are watching us right now, that authorities, and this is the report coming to us from the Associated Press right now, they are reporting that authorities are saying it was a lone shooter who opened fire at the airport. They are saying that multiple people were killed before the shooter himself was taken into custody. The airport has suspended operations as law authorities continue their investigation on the ground. And Russell, as we continue to follow the story, what happens with you next? What has been the instruction given to you right now?
Well, we will be moved to Terminal 4 to what they are calling a quiet area, and then no one can take their luggage from the area that for those people that were picking up the baggage at the baggage pickup where it occurred. And so we're currently cordoned off in one area. Will be transported to Terminal 4 and then being interviewed by detectives. As you can appreciate, they've treated it as a crime scene, which it's all marked off. The center area where the shooting occurred is all cordoned off, and no one can go near that area. It's quite a few police officers and sheriffs, and it looks like security, perhaps army. I'm not really sure. But they're actually being very good. They're telling people that to be aware of the signs of trauma. So, we have quite a few people that are shaking badly, and they brought water and refreshments out to us. We're sitting here waiting to see what happens.
Well, you say that you have a number of people around you who are shaking badly. How are you and your partner right now?
I think we're pretty shaken. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. To see somebody essentially killed in front of you is horrifying. I can't believe this happened. I'm so upset for the people that were injured, but I'm so thankful that Bruce and I are alive, not injured, and we're safe. So, I think I'm just running through a whole bunch of emotions. I'm shaking as I'm speaking right now. I think a lot of people are pretty upset.
Well, Russell, we can certainly sympathize that this has been a very difficult situation for you. Thank you so much for speaking to us under such difficult circumstances. We wish you and your partner very well.